In my mind, I wanted a normal pregnancy. I wanted to give birth, be able to take her home, and just have everything be normal and happy. And I just wasn't sure what it looked like anymore. I was very scared.
I saw that there was a defect in the wall between the left and right side of the heart, right toward the middle.
She was born a few weeks early at around 37 weeks, and she initially had some breathing issues and some blood sugar issues. So she was brought into the NICU.
You kind of feel helpless because there's so many nurses and people kind of doing their thing. And, you know, I felt bad for Maddie because I could just imagine how much she would want to hold her and, you know, love up on her. And
my first semester at Black Hills State University, I was starting my generals, hoping to go into nursing school. And it was actually right before finals of my very first semester that we found out that we were going to be parents. Made an appointment with my OB, and then they are actually the ones that referred me to the maternal fetal specialist. Just being a diabetic and knowing that there are, you know, extra things that they have to kind of look for.
I actually got to meet Kennedy before she was born. There had been suspicions that her heart was forming abnormally. We looked with a test called a fetal echocardiogram, which is an ultrasound test that allows us to see the details of baby's heart before birth.
in that appointment too, found out with the echo that there was the deformation of the mitral valve, which was a much bigger deal. Kind of made the whole thing a little more scary than even what we had thought originally.
Tried to be positive that everything would happen how it was supposed to, and I had faith in the doctors that what they were telling us was true and that they would be able to fix it and everything would still be okay.
The atrioventricular septal defect is among the top 10 most common defects that we see, but probably only occurs in about every 1 in 5,000 births.
My labor was, I would say, pretty easy. Nothing too bad. When she was born, he was able to cut the cord and everything. We, I guess, didn't really think anything was wrong.
Yeah, so Kennedy was born, and immediately she was taken and put in an incubator. And so it was tough, not being able to hold her.
Watching the family just with tears and being anxious and being scared and being just, it broke my heart. And so what I do as the primary nurse is I do everything I can to help ease their feelings and to help them, to guide them. I do my very best to take care of the whole family, not just Kennedy, the sweet little baby, but the whole family as a unit.
Kennedy's mitral valve leaked so much that she was having difficulties earlier than average. And it was about at the age of 3 weeks when one of my associates saw her in clinic and referred her for surgical repair.
You drove to Omaha, and the next day me and Kennedy were flown out. We flew out with 2 NICU nurses. The morning of her surgery was, I don't even know if there's words to describe it. I wasn't sure if we were saying goodbye to her or if everything was gonna be fine.
Where our surgeon placed a patch over the hole and repaired the mitral valve.
I mean, it felt like a long time at the time, and then when he came back, said they were finished, she was, closed up, and said it went better than expected.
We were so excited because waiting those hours while she was in surgery was awful. I mean, time was slow. So having our whole entire family pretty much was awesome. I don't know if we could have done it without them. 10 days after her surgery, they finally told us that she was able to come home. Chad had already left for his last year of college, so it was me and my mom. It was honestly so exciting putting her in the car seat. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to use that little car seat.
Yeah.
Once we got home, it was probably the best night's sleep we had in a while.
But just at that time, it was like, oh, we're home, all home, and it was a great feeling.
A few months ago, one of my associates in pediatric cardiology saw Kennedy in the clinic and evaluated her heart and was very enthusiastic about how fine the clinical result has been. I believe that our optimism for her clinical course going forward is well-founded.
Because Kennedy was in the NICU for the whole first month of her life, we, of course, met a lot of nurses, and a lot of were Kennedy's nurse multiple times. One of our favorite nurses was Teresa Shoney. She just stood out to us because she made us feel so comfortable, and leaving Kennedy every single night in the care of these nurses was hard, but she was one that we really trusted, and she was very caring.
That I got to see her on night 1, and then to see her now. She's 3.5 years old, going to be 4 this year, and she's a thriving little girl. She's talking, she's walking, she's so smart, and she gave me the biggest hug, and I can tell you that is the most rewarding part of this job, is to see that the care that we provide, she is growing, she's thriving, she's doing well, the family is united, and that just, it makes this job so much more rewarding.
Cardiologist especially is someone that maybe both of us has always wanted to meet again and really thank him, because without him we probably wouldn't have Kennedy today.
I've been a pediatric cardiologist since 1985, and throughout all of those years the American Heart Association has played an important role supporting research into heart disease of all kinds, but particularly into congenital heart disease.
I think it's just really cool. There's so many different aspects to what we dealt with. The nurses, the surgeons, the cardiologists, the Heart Association, the Children's Hospital. You really feel like people have your back, and going to Omaha, staying in that nice place we stayed. What I was told is her heart was the size of an acorn, and it blows my mind that they can go in and fix that. And so the research and everything the Heart Association is able to do and keep doing it changed our lives forever.
Now she is a healthy and active toddler with no limitations. So in April, Kennedy is going to be a big sister. She's going to have a little brother. After Kennedy, we always knew that we wanted to have more kids, wanted to have a big family, but it was kind of scary for us because me being a diabetic and Kennedy having the heart condition, we're at a greater risk of having more kids with these kind of issues. This time we really decided to plan it out, see doctors ahead of time just to make sure everything would go smoothly. And so again, this pregnancy, we saw the maternal fetal specialist, had an echo done, and there was no complications. Everything looks normal. So yeah, we're planning on having a normal delivery this time.